Good morning, everyone, and happy Ahn Shi Il, and welcome to our Heavenly Parent Holy Community Oceania morning Hunoke. And on this Ahn Shi Il day, we have Reverend Tim and Margaret Sisserson will be presenting on Wednesday, the 8th of April 2026, or the 21st of February in the 14th year of Chong Il Guk. Thank you all for coming, and let's begin with a bow to our true parents of heaven, earth, and humankind. Chanji Chompuninge, Chombe, Paro. And let's recite our family pledge, both in Korean and English.
가전맨세 6. 천일국 주인, 우리 가정은 참 사랑을 중심하고 하늘 부모님과 참 부모님의 대신 가정으로서 손을 움직이는 가정이 되어 하늘의 축복을 주변에 연결시키는 가정을 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다.
Family pledge number 6. Our family, the owner of Chong Il Guk, pledges to become a family that moves heavenly fortune by embodying the heavenly parent and true parents, and to perfect a family that conveys heaven's blessing to our community by centering on true love. Thank you, and I'd like to share again Father's prayer that he gave on the 10th of March 1957. Heavenly Parent, we know that at this time it will not do unless our minds and bodies resemble you completely. So please embrace us to your eternal bosom, and in order to realize your will, please let us inherit your heart, which has loved billions of people, and please allow us to realize that this is the time when we must appear with hearts like yours. This land is the land where you toiled and shed blood, and because we know that this land is the land where humankind went the difficult path of the cross, the land where the people of the world went the course of Golgotha. Heavenly Father, please lead us to come to realize by ourselves what kind of situation we are facing today. If we are going to acknowledge that we are following the footsteps of Jesus' 30-year life of suffering, then please lead us to clearly understand what kind of environment we are living in and what we must hope for and desire. At this time, when the remaining battle of the cross has come right before our eyes, as individuals, we know that we must have hearts which are aware that they can push aside all these sufferings and enmities. So heaven, please have pity on us at this time. Please lead us to feel our unworthiness and guide us to feel our inadequacy by ourselves. And we earnestly hope and desire that you will allow this time to become a time when we can shed tears of anguish in front of you, Heavenly Parent, lamenting our own incompleteness, asking you to take dominion over all things. We have humbly prayed in the name of the Lord. Amen. Thank you. And before we welcome up Reverend Tim and Margaret, I'd like to share a praise song. So please.
기도만이 내 인생 그 은혜 넘치게 기도 없는 삶 생각할 수 없네
늘 기도하는 삶 날 새롭게 하네 늘 기도하게 하소서 그 은혜 넘치게 기쁜 아래로 난 기도하게 하소서
언제나 기도하며 흔들리지 않는
Let us
저희가
constantly
되겠습니다.
pray and never
어떠한
waver.
상황 속도 포기하지 않는
Let us
부모님의 참 자녀가
Become true
되겠습니다.
children of true parents.
기도만이 내 인생 그 은혜 넘치네 기도 없는 삶 생각할 수 없네
늘 기도하는 삶 날 새롭게 하네 늘 기도하게 하소서 그 은혜 넘치게 기쁘나 괴로우나 기도하게 하소서 부모님의 은혜로 나 감당하리니 밝으나 어두우나 기도하게 하소서 이 땅의 모든 성리 승리하리니 기쁘나 괴로우나 기도하게 하소서 부모님의 은혜로 나 감당하리니 밝으나 어두우나 기도하게 하소서 이 땅의 모든 성리 승리하리니 기쁘나 괴로우나 기도하게 하소서 부모님의 은혜로 나 감당하리니 밝으나 어두우나 기도하게 하소서 이 땅의 모든 성리 승리하리니
바로 경례 바로
Thank you, and let's welcome up Tim and Margaret. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, can hear you and can see your screen. Yep.
Oh, good. Yeah, today I will be doing solo.
Okay.
Preparing the respiratory organs of love while on earth. Book 7. Jeonsongyong, Earthly Life in the Spirit World, Chapter 1, The Nature of Life and Death. And Section 1, the 3 stages of life. Those who breathe love while on the earth, do not die. Rather, they live. While breathing inside the mother's womb, we are preparing a windpipe suitable for the future world of air. Though we are alive when we disconnect from the placenta, that connects by a cord to our stomach and come out, we are transformed to exist on a new, higher dimension, and we are supplied with higher dimensional elements. We emerge and receive an infusion of air. After you emerge from the womb, what are you preparing for? It is love. It is not only air, which you are infused with, but love. You receive elements of love. You are not living only to eat. Then what should be you be filled with during your life on earth? You should form a new character of love during this time. Kind of good reminder uh, for uh, character education for youth preparing to mature, that why we need to prepare is because we have to be equipped to deliver uh, when uh, once teens grow and then prepare and be ready for family. They need to be equipped to be able to teach the character of love for newborn. Until now, no one noted that while you are in the womb, in the age of water, you prepare 5 physical sense organs that you do not need there. Those organs are not necessary in the womb. However, once you come out into the world of air and sever the umbilical cord, you need them. Similarly, you are living in the age of air. You need to prepare 5 internal spiritual sense organs. These are not external bodily organs. They are the 5 God-centered internal organs you need in order to lead a carefree, unlimited life through which you harmonize with the world of love. In your present life, you have a nose and eyes through which you can smell and see the natural world in an in a limited way for 100 years. But there is an eternal being inside you, staying still and waiting, with its nose, mouth, and ears closed until the moment of its birth. In the same way, senses are inside you, waiting to see the eternal sights, hear the eternal sounds, smell the eternal fragrance, and taste the eternal flavors. They are like your earthly senses. When that moment comes, each of us will be able to go everywhere, listen to everything, smell everything, and eat everything. Sounds good. When you go to the spirit world, you will sing songs of love and speak words of love. If someone speaks to you in song in the spirit world, you will want to respond likewise. If you are spoken to through a dance, you will want to reply with a dance. You will rejoice eternally and never tire of dancing. When dancing starts in one place, all of heaven will dance. And when singing starts somewhere, there will be singing everywhere. You will dance with your beloved spouse. When you end up dancing with another in the spirit world, you will say to yourself, "This dancing with you is so I can love my beloved spouse 100 times more. When you dance with someone else and hold each other's hands, you will feel the impulse to find your beloved spouse and love him or her 1,000 times and tens of thousand times more than ever. When you go to the spirit world, there is no need for you to work. There is no night time. Your eyes are wide open. Your organs are working all the time. And what work are they doing? What kind of work will you enjoy doing when your eyes are always open and you never need to sleep? It is love. When you possess such an ideal of love, if you say, let such and such a thing appear, it will appear right away. You will live surrounded by original love. Kind of makes you think when you are in an environment and a certain song that you know pops up, without thinking, your body begins to move to the tune of that music. Imagine how much more in the spirit world. Why were we born? We were born because of love. To bear the fruit of love, we are born through the love of our parents, and we grow up within the embrace of love. After that, we raise sons and daughters whom we can love in place of God. Then what happens when we grow old? We feel everything that parents can feel in the world. Through everything we experience in our life on earth, we feel God's presence and we become a fruit of oneness with Him. It is similar to that trees into the way trees bear fruit. Just as a fruit that has absorbed elements from all parts of a tree is harvested, we need to return to God's embrace. For such is the purpose of our birth. That is why God created us, so we can become one with Him through love. Therefore, love is the standard of infinite value, unequaled in the entire universe. In the place we become one with love, there is nothing that cannot be found. There, everything has achieved perfection. That is the ideal world to which people alive today need to go. If we call that place in the spirit world, it is the if we call that place the spirit world, it is the spirit world. If we call that place the kingdom of heaven, it is the kingdom of heaven. Such fruits can enter the kingdom of heaven. It is not a place that individuals can enter. Only those eligible as object partners of equal value, who have borne fruit centering on love, and who have inherited the right of ownership of God's love, can go in. The first parent is the parents who gave birth to you, but the second parent is the earth. The earth is the second parent of your body. The earth supplies you with the elements that helps your body grow. After passing through the second parent, you enter the third parent at the time of death. You cannot enter the third parent without being prepared. You need to resemble the form of God, our original parent. Why do we marry? It is to resemble God's form. God is a being of unified, dual characteristics. God's characteristics divide into two separate entities, a man and a woman who need to come together in union. They are like seeds, and they return to the position of God's original nature. However, for those seeds to be perfected, They have to traverse the path of duty of love. This means they need to be born and receive love, grow up with the love as their goal, live their lives centering on love, and even when they pass on in order to return to love. Unless you set out focused on the goal of living for others, your path will take you in the wrong direction. You need to be stronger than your environment. You need to inherit all the elements so that you can bear fruit in the future. And your motivation to bear fruit has to be strong. Only then, after passing through the course to fruition, a course connected with history, can you remain as a fruit that is indispensable to human society. When a person is born, that person has to master the environment without fail. That does not mean that mastering the environment is an end in itself. You need to pass through the process by which you inherit new life and bear good fruit. After going through this process, you need to occupy a position that can show proper and practical results. For example, the owners sow seeds of grain, they sprout, grow, and bear fruit. And then the owner harvests and stores them in a barn. Just like that seed, you need to go through a process of being harvested because you are needed for a certain purpose. I believe last night, Reverend Lee mentioned about this that, or one of the points I gathered was to build a strong heart and by overcoming the environment. And precisely for this point of being able to be harvested uh, at the end of our life. Life on this earth is but a fleeting moment. Therefore, a person who cries and weeps for a child who has gone to the spirit world has not yet broken free from ties with the fallen realm. When this person goes to the spirit world, he or she will be blocked by a wall. A person is born from love, lives through love, and returns to love. Since its origin is the seed, the fruit will produce new seed. When you ask the reason human beings are born, the answer is that we are born for ideal love. Since this is an eternal love, you will always have your mother and father, your husband, wife, and your sons and daughters. Hence, love is precious. Because love begins from God, God is absolute. Love cannot change. And because love is eternal, people are born for God's love, live for the sake of love, and after living their life this way, stand in the position of eternal object partner of God, living with God forever. In the world of air, the spirit is attached to the body, which nourishes it like a fetus. When the body grows old, the spirit wants to kick it away and leave it behind. If God sees the physical body insisting that it will not die, what will he do? Will he laugh, pity it, or scold it? Just as a baby is born and becomes its parent's object partner of love, we can conclude, based on the principle, that we need to be born again in our spirit body and become an eternal object partner of God, our spiritual parent. Just as a baby is born into this world where it can share love with its mother and father, we need to be born into the spirit world where we can share love with God, our parent, who moves through the eternal and infinite realms. Without taking the position of his object partner, we cannot possibly become his children. The invisible God develops through the visible Adam. When Adam becomes the owner of love and has his own sons and daughters, he fills the realm of substance horizontally on God's behalf. The substantial fruit of the two nations appear, centering on the incorporeal God, Adam's realm of substance, and the grandchildren. This perfected fruit becomes the substance of the spirit world and the physical world and is able to go anywhere. Since our ancestors were raised in the bosom of God, we cannot but wish for God Himself to live in comfort and happiness forever, forevermore. Would it do for God to feel unhappy? We wish for God always to be wonderfully happy. A baby in the womb wishes the same thing. After the absolute God created Adam and Eve, while they were growing up, he was surely in the state of infinite hope and infinite happiness. He must have had dreams for them. This is true for us as well. It is similar to the fact that we live for a time in our mother's womb. Then we are born in our lifetime of living in our physical body. We are born and our lifetime of living in our physical body begins. How is our current life on earth different from life in the womb? In that we are growing in the embrace of our universe. It is the same. I just wanted to make a comment on choosing this talk on spirit world, that when God created Adam and Eve before the fall, God was with them in the cool of the day. That means physical and spirit world were connected. And I believe that now we are living in Chong Il Kuk, even though we're reaching a point of challenges. It is really the time of in which we can cultivate our spiritual senses to be able to live in the original world, minding, of course, the challenges that we are facing and taking responsibility for. But I think we should also be mindful of cultivating these spiritual senses. We are born in love that represents God. We live in love. We reach the destination of love by having sons and daughters, and we return to God to live with Him eternally. In other words, our life begins with love, matures with love, and is harvested as the fruit of love. Death is the point in which the fruit of love is harvested. We receive our parents' love, shared the love of husband and wife, and love our children. Therefore, we have to harvest the fruits of God's love that have ripened in the internal world of love, scattered throughout our lifetime, and take them with us to the spirit world. When I become completely one with through love, I come to resemble God. If a husband and wife unite and realize completely those three stages of love, when they go to the spirit world, they will become, for eternity, the object partner, God, in front of the eternal subject partner, God. This takes place when husband and wife passes away with true love as their center. Thus we begin with God and end with God. Thank you and happy Ahn Shi Il to everyone.
Thank you, Margaret, for sharing the message today. And before we reflect over it, I'd like to share another a praise song that we can reflect with. Just bring it up. There it is. So please enjoy.
"孤独な不動を慰
Yeah. Thanks, Margaret, for sharing those words today about love. And there's a few things in there that made me think about love. I mean, one of them was dancing. When you get so captivated, you dance. And then I thought, I wonder what sort of dance. Is it just any sort of moving? Well, that one I can do. But what about, is a formal ballroom dancing, or is it a certain classic styles? Sometimes I watch those dancing shows, dancing with the stars or something. I look at them and think, oh well, that's he's okay or she's okay, or they're amazing, and then I think, oh, there's no way I can dance like that. But I was thinking about that, but then when you read, once you hold the hand of someone else and you're dancing, then instantly you want to be with your spouse instantly. And I'm thinking of times when that is like that, like when you're at some wedding, or you're at some special function, and people are dancing, and then someone says, "Come dance," and it's, "Oh no, I can't do that." But then it just made me think about how much maybe we need to learn to dance, take up dancing lessons. And the other interesting thing I found was how all our senses, our spiritual senses, in a way closed. They don't open up really until we go to spirit world. Just like a baby, it's stretching its arms and legs, and outside the parents say, "Oh, you can feel the kick." But the baby, it's a limited experience. It's not really full, but maybe to the baby, it's wow, it's everything it knows. And so the same for us. We have our, some people have more spiritual experiences or less, but actually they're limited. And it made me think, oh, our eyes and ears and nose and mouth, they're all closed. They're still just like they're closed in the womb. And if you try to open them, inside the womb, then they don't function properly. And so here, we've got them, and some people have experiences, but actually it's really, really limited. And when we go there, just like the baby, gasps to breathe in the air, and blinks a few times to even see, or it can't see because it's too bright. And then maybe the similar thing happens to us. When we try to open our eyes, it's too bright. We have to take time and adjust, and just like the baby is greeted by the parents, we are greeted by the parents. But the other thing that's significant, you mentioned about the seed, the fruit, the seed, and how we go as a couple. We go together with our spouse. We don't go because you can't go without being the object partner, and that complete object partner is a couple. And so we have to let loose all of the thinking that we have here, because it's only the preparation for the next world. And what are we preparing? We're preparing our hearts to love. And how can we love? We know doing for others, living for the sake of others is the way that we grow, because we have to feed, just like the child is fed in the womb indirectly, but when it's born, it looks like we're being fed directly. The parents put the spoon of food into the mouth of the child, and then we learn to eat independently. But at the same time, when we're born into the spirit realm, there's that adjustment period how we move, and because it's going to be no night. We don't go to sleep. Eyes are always open, and we're always receptive, and whatever we desire is realized, as long as we are the same standard of love as our heavenly parent. So that's the small point, but dramatic point, having that same standard as our heavenly parent, and then we become good parents. Yeah. Anyway, just some thinking and some thoughts, and very, very nice reading. Thank you. And anyone else who wants to make a comment, please do. Yeah. Yeah. Yes, Mr. Wright. Oh, we've got Mr. Wright, and later, Greg. Go ahead, Mr. Wright.
Thank you so much, Margaret, today. And about the spiritual world, I think we can see you spiritual world one day. And, just interesting. If you go to spiritual world, don't need to work. Fantastic. And don't need to sleep. Then no nighttime. No nighttime. And so I was quite interesting. This, if go to spiritual world, no nighttime, and don't need to sleep. And I was thinking these things quite some time. When God created, I think at the beginning, create heaven first, like a spiritual world. I think God substantial, body, Adam Eve. When God created, Adam Eve must be live forever, not to disappear. Live God with happy forever. I think this is one of the God first idea. Then God created spiritual world. So but people go to spiritual world. So then before God created physical world. Then physical world, our life is 100 years. Someone dies 50 or 60, but I think in 100 years we can live physical world. So God created then especially sun and the earth and the moon. Sun and the earth and the moon. They also, why God created our moon is without moon, earth turn sun, it's 8 hours. So if 8 hours, it's a very quickly, it's a morning, day, night and come. So God created moon. That's why Earth turning sun, it take 24 hours. So 12 hours is a day, 12 hours a night, this kind of. So yeah, that's why, when I, sleep, I was really thinking, thanks to God. God give us nighttime. We can sleep, we can rest, we can grow. Without nighttime, physical body cannot exist. So it is incredible. It's God created this universe. How human being can live on this earth, like daytime and nighttime. I think without boring, without boring, and then. But also actually, this physical world, it is incredible. Like millions miracle. I think everything. Yeah, that's why people live on us. We can so much exciting. Yeah, that's why people goes to spiritual world. It's more exciting. More exciting. God created that way. Just we cannot touch with that, but I think that's why this God created this earth, our life. It is incredible. But if you go to spiritual world, I think I don't know how many times. I think it's a more incredible world with God and with God. It's anyway. Thanks so much for God creation. It is sure. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Rai. Ms. Greg, you wanted to say something?
Yeah, well, thanks, Margaret. It's always good to be reminded of this eternal plan of God. We go to the spirit world. Just when you mentioned that this is a very challenging time, but at the same time as that challenge is coming down, something else amazing is happening. And I don't know how others experience it, but definitely spirit world is coming closer and closer, and assistance from the spirit world is more and more available. I sort of think of it like how externally the AI, artificial intelligence, is like an assistant to help you do accounting or even produce PowerPoints and all kinds of things. But there's another kind of internal AI which is happening, which is the spirit world is becoming more and more available, more and more an assistant to us, so more internal. So anyway, yeah, I don't know how others are feeling, but it's really sort of happening day by day. Amazing developments taking place. Spirit world coming closer and closer to help us. Yeah, anyway, thanks, Margaret, so much. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, yes, Margaret, yeah.
I don't know if everyone caught this point from Reverend Lee last night at Jeonsimwon, but I thought I heard him talking about when he was talking about how to be strong, keep the heart strong, and not to be easily influenced. Also, he mentioned that mother is very strong at the heart, actually. So she's aging. Naturally, her body is aging, but her heart is very strong. I think Reverend Lee even mentioned about being with Father for so many years also. So that really gave me a lot of good feeling that even though it is a dire situation that our mother is in, but I was comforted that of that heart, that her heart is not easily influenced by the environment. Just her body is aging, and I think she wants all of us to really create that kind of strength of heart to overcome our environment and overcome the challenges that we face and bring victory as well. So all of us moving, like the concept of the high tide, that everyone rise up at this time of challenges, but we all rise with the tide of the blessing of Jong Il Kuk that our true parents have created. It's mind blowing sometimes to think that I am alive at this time, at such a time of this great high tide of God's providence. And another thing I just wanted to share is that when we came to Palau in 2021, one of my sisters died in 2021, and then 2022 another one passed, and 2024 another one passed. And it really made me think about spirit world. As much as I love them and her children love my sisters, it became very clear to me that they were, once you pass into the realm of the spirit world, you're going to another home and you're going to live in another environment. And as much as we miss them and we want to keep them in the memories and everything, actually they need to move on to the new world. And the memories of those good times begin to fade away. And it really is, I was mourning with each one for a certain period of time, each one with different times. And then I realized actually they're in a good environment, depending on their own conditions. But instead of living a life of mourning for them, I should be living. And likewise for their children. So I began to kind of spend time with their children, having a different approach for them to go beyond their mourning and to really, and that's why I began to read a lot about spiritual from Father's Word to give them advice from that point of view. But likewise, it's easy to be sad in the situation we're in, but I don't want to just dwell in the sadness. I want to be alive and be growing, especially in the spiritual senses. So anyway, just wanted to share that a little bit.
Yeah. Thank you, Margaret. Thank you, everyone. It's time now to offer our unison prayer. So I'll just bring up that screen. There it is. Okay, let's pray together. Jew. Thank you again, Margaret, for sharing, and I hope everyone has a great day and see you all again tomorrow. Thank you. Okay, bye.
Thank you, Margaret.
Thank you, Margaret.
Thank you, Margaret.
Thank you.
みゆきさん、いい顔ですよ。ハッピーフェイス。